what's happening YouTube? Welcome back to Scents of South Jersey with me, Kellen, for another fragrance video. So on one of my more recent videos, somebody posted a comment asking me to make a video list of performing fragrances, high performance fragrances, long lasting fragrances. The ones he suggested were newer fragrances that I don't really feature on my channel, but the idea I thought was great too. So what I have here for you guys today is a list of 8 great performing fragrances, and I want to make a couple of points. This list features varying degrees of price for the fragrances. Some are going to be close to niche, some are going to be, inexpensive, cheap scents, and some are in the middle at the designer level. Also, all of these are still in production too, so no discontinued scents this time, I promise. I know I feature some rare stuff on the channel that is much harder to find. These are all easily accessible, whether by going into a store or just going online and buying it too. So before we jump into this video, if it's your first time here to my channel and you enjoy the type of content that I create, make sure to hit that red button below and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. If you have an Instagram, check out the Scents of South Jersey Instagram page. I post pictures of my fragrance collection and scent of the day stories, and there's always news and updates on the channel, such as when the next video is going to drop. And if you have a TikTok, check out my TikTok at Sabro88. It's not fragrance related, it's something else, but you'll figure it out when you get there. And also, as I've been saying in all the videos, if you're interested in purchasing some rare or discontinued fragrances straight from my collection, just check out my Mercari page. It's in the link in the description below. I have a bunch of stuff listed there that I've either reviewed or I just find myself not wearing that I'm looking to kind of offload within my collection, make room for other things that I want to bring into the collection, and I'd rather somebody else enjoy them than just sit up there in the fragrance section all be alone, not being used too. So let's not waste any more time. Let's take a look at these high performing fragrances. Okay, fragrance number 1. This is a cheapie, guys, but this is an old school classic from 1980 from the house of Jacques Bogart. I'm sure you can guess. It is One Man Show, the original one too. So I found this bottle. I have this one. I've used it. It's kind of gone a little bit of a darker yellow. I think that's just from age. My first and ever One Man Show bottle, I've killed it off. It's done. I finished it, so I've started in on this one. If you like piney, strong green and a whole melting pot of all kinds of other stuff, check out One Man Show. It's definitely polarizing, but there's one thing I can guarantee you, and it's the whole point of this video: this stuff will last. It's still in production. You can have it for $16, between like 15 and 20, we'll say, but I think I've seen them on there for 16 bucks. They got the built-in sprayer. This stuff, 1 or 2 sprays of this, it will last on your skin and your clothing. It's a very unique smell. It kind of smells like you're out in the forest, but with a whole mix of other things. So many notes in this, it's like just impossible to describe, and I don't want to pretend like I can pick them out, but it's a green, mean, just masculine beast of a fragrance too. They have a lot of other flankers, but to me, the original has always been the best and my favorite. And with performance, you are not spending a ton of money, and you are going to get a scent that lasts. Okay, next up on the list, a little bit more expensive, but not by much. I'm talking maybe $5 more, from the same year, from the house of Oscar de la Renta. It is Oscar de la Renta's Pour Louis, and this is the current formulation. You can see how much, maybe you can't because it's kind of reflective there, but the fill level's right here. I wore this as my scent of the day the other day, and it smells amazing. Vintage, current, does not matter. Get this one. It lasts a long time. It's an amazing barbershop scent. The fragrance, it's going to be in the air here. It smells so good. It smells so professional. It's a thicker type of barbershop scent, not super green. It's a kind of a different type of fougere fragrance. I absolutely love this stuff, and it's one that I've gone through and used. I have a vintage bottle, but the current one is just fine. If you're interested in seeing a full review on this, I've already made one and compared it to the vintage, but don't feel like you have to track that one down, despite it not being expensive version of it, but the current is just fine. This one lasts all work day on me. I love it, especially on clothing. It smells great, and it's really inexpensive and still being made. Okay, fragrance number 3. This stuff is probably one of the most badass scents ever, and it's from the 70s. It's the original version, of course. It is Denim. Believe it or not, it's an Italian fragrance from the house of, I think it's called like Coda. This is a fragrance that you can have for 20 bucks. You can find it online, eBay. It's a very, very strong fragrance. It's my scent of the day. So let's just get some in there here. Oh yeah. Spray this all around. This stuff will last. This is going to be on me on this shirt for like the next month on my skin all day. It's so masculine, just like a leathery, green, mossy type of scent. Denim is awesome. $21, will last all day on your skin. They have a full body line too if you're into the body line products like I am. I always like the shower gel, the body spray. To me, that stuff completes the set. And the aftershave as well too. The aftershave was the original, then they had obviously the eau de toilette that came out, but this stuff will last and it smells so good, especially in the air. It's one of those fragrances that it may seem kind of harsh when you first spray it on, but let it develop. And for $21, $22, the performance and the smell on this is amazing. But again, the point of the video is it will last a long time. All right, fragrance number 4, jumping ahead to 1987. This is probably one of, I would say, the most polarizing fragrances in my collection, but it does not skimp on performance. I'm talking about the Incense Bodega 1980s waiting room fragrance. It's Lapidus Pour Homme. Some people love it, some people hate it. I appreciate it. I definitely don't love it. I think it's okay. But the truth about it is, and I made a whole video about that, is that the scent is different. Let's just put it that way. However, it will last a long time, especially if you get this on your clothing. You will smell it forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. The performance is good on skin. I think it's a good, but I know on clothing when I spray this, it definitely lasts a long time. Again, I'm not putting hours in any of these because I've done pretty much reviews on each and every one of them, and you can go check that out to get the exact one. But what I remember about all of these, and I know about all these from wearing them, is that they do last a long time. And Lapidus Pour Homme, again, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 bucks, depending on what site you get it from, will last a long time. This is going to be a gamble if you like the scent or not, but you don't have to worry about the performance. Vintage, current, does not matter. It lasts a while and you can have it for next to nothing. All right, guys, so now we're going to enter the second half of this list. And as we continue the second half, the fragrances are going to get more higher end. They're going to get a little bit more expensive. So fragrance number 5, this is from 1981. What I would consider to be the predecessor to the one we just looked at, which is Lapidus Pour Homme. But this one is way more polished, way better smelling, and definitely longer lasting, and one of my all-time favorites, and I'm sure you guys know what it is from the House of Yves Saint Laurent. It is Kouros. So Kouros is classified as an aromatic fougere, but it's got a lot going on. This is the current formulation. I didn't bring my vintage bottle down. The vintage bottle has the silver shoulders here, where the current's gonna be all white, but this is one of those that if you don't want to seek out the vintage version, this one is just fine. The vintage, of course, is richer and will last like 24 hours. This one, though, is an amazing performer. And some might argue even more wearable because it's not as strong. They kind of had to tone down the amount of whatever the heck is in here, the beaver anus that makes it smell, the civet, you know what I mean? That smell, but it's a rough, definitely, super hyper masculine, just in your face type of fragrance. I absolutely love this stuff. I loved it since I first tried it. It performs, it performs, it performs. This is going to get you through work, through the day. If you go, like I go to the gym after work every single day, at least, 4 or 5 days a week. And certain fragrances I'll wear in the morning. I'll apply them at like 8, 9 in the morning whenever I post my, well, not 9 because I'm at work by then, but let's say 8, 8:30 in the morning whenever I post my scent of the day on Instagram. And some fragrances, when I sweat, even when I apply a different cheap gym cologne right before I go to the gym, I can start to smell the original fragrance from the morning. And this is one of those too. Kouros is just a beast. Probably in the, at this point, $70, $75 range. I like to buy those little gift set ones where it comes with a body wash, but this is a great performer. And if you want something to stand out that's gonna last, that's gonna have you smelling like a king, this is the stuff. All right, next on the list, this is fragrance number 6, 1978. We're going to jump back in time here. This is probably one of the greatest men's fragrances ever, most popular, most recognizable, and that is Polo for Men by Ralph Lauren. So this, again, is my current formulation bottle. I've used a lot of it. I always know which one's which, obviously, because the cap is different, the neck is longer. But when I look at it, because this has got this like mark where the guy and the horse was, I don't know, it was just damaged, I guess, in the gift set that I got a long time ago, just by, I guess, picking it up, you know what I mean? So this is a piney green tobacco, just a strong fragrance, very masculine, smells like success. even in the current formulation, you're still going to get good performance. You're still going to get over that 6 hour, which I think is, anything you're getting over 6 hours is pretty good. This is, again, probably in the $80 range in terms of the scent, depending on where you buy it, in terms of the scent, in terms of the cost. So, you can get these at discounters, but don't worry about that. Wherever you buy it, as long as it's a legitimate site, it's going to perform. The vintage is going to perform even better, but this is a current formulation. It's still being made, and it's still going to last a long time. And again, you're not sacrificing that much quality. The vintage is, of course, better with this one, but if you don't want to go buy that, this is going to smell good. You're going to smell just as a classy scent, but you don't have to worry about the performance being bad on this one. It lasts a long time for what it is, and it's still, in production, and that's the best part about it, that it's still being made too. So again, Polo for Men by Ralph Lauren, 1978. Okay, fragrance number 7. This is one of those high-end designers that's like on the borderline of niche. It's from the house of Tom Ford. It was originally released in 2019 and then re-released in the version that I have in this video. I have both, but I just brought this one down because, again, I wanted to highlight just what's available. So this is an eau de parfum. It is Beau de Jour. This is the 2020 release. This stuff is such a high-quality barbershop, a little bit different because it's got a little patchouli in there that adds a little bit of dirtiness, but it's still smells really clean and refined at the same time, and it lasts a long time. This is one of those scents, again, you apply it in the morning, you're going to notice it, you're going to get whiffs of it. When you think it's gone, you're just going to say, smell something, and you're like, wow, it's my fragrance is still going, it's still performing on me. Obviously, clothing is going to help with any one of the ones on this list, even the last one that I'm going to talk about, but even on skin, this one still lasts a long time. This is much more expensive. For this size, you're probably looking at around $150 to $200. When I bought this one in New York in 2022, I just bought it retail. Because I just wanted it, you know what I mean? But this stuff, it not only does it smell amazing, smell super classy, but it's an excellent performer, and I think worth the price if you're looking for a refined gentleman's aromatic fougere barbershop style fragrance that's not only recent, but definitely takes a huge sampling in terms of yesteryear's types of fougères and mixes it in to make it a little bit more of a modern style. Tom Ford killed it with this one. All right, guys, so the last fragrance on this list is from 1987. This one is from a niche house, and it's from obviously a very recognizable niche house, maybe the first niche house anybody ever gravitates towards. Mine was Acqua di Parma, but shortly after it was this, it's the house of Creed. So this is Creed's Bois de Portugal. Again, this is the first Creed I ever bought, and this is one that I've noticed lasts a long time on my skin and on my clothing. Earlier when I was talking about Koros, I mentioned how fragrances, especially when I sweat later in the day, they start to come out again, and I still get hints of the fragrance even though it's well into the evening. I'm talking 6, 7 o'clock, and I apply them in the morning. This is definitely one of them. I'm gonna spray this on a tester strip. The performance for this one is awesome, and Creed is not known to have the greatest smelling, they have great smelling fragrances, greatest performing fragrances. Things like Aventus is not a terrible performer, but it's not a beast mode scent. Not super long. Things like Millesime Imperial, those are I'm just basing it off the ones that I own. That one is not a great performer. Smells great, doesn't perform that well. This one though, not only does it smell fantastic, but it lasts a long time. This is well over a work day, great performing fragrance. Now with this one, depending on where you get it, it could be 200 or more probably. This is 100 ml size. If you want the full box presentation that comes with the cards and all that, that's what I got when I bought it. I don't know if Creed sells testers or anything like that, or depending on where you're buying them. But this one, not only does it smell classy, just like you're out on a cliff in Portugal and there's just wind blowing and the sea and the trees and some citrus in there. It's very green, very, very masculine, very classic. Such an amazing fragrance. Probably one of the best from the house. One of, I don't think it's the best, but it's one of the best. And it's definitely more old school style, gentleman style than say something like Aventus, which is amazing. And I love Aventus, but they're just two different types of worlds of fragrances. But when it comes to performance, Bois de Portugal lasts all day. And it's definitely helps making you, worth ponying up the extra money to buy something like this too. So don't sleep on this one. All right, guys, that's my list of 8 still in production, still being made, varying degrees of cost fragrances that all perform very well too. So I would love to hear from you guys in the comment section. What did you think about this list? Do you like these? Do you have good performance with any of these? What are fragrances that you wear that no matter the price, doesn't matter, last all day long? I would love to hear from you. I wanted to say, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. Check out the Instagram page, TikTok, Mercari, all that stuff. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.